Welcome back again, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing my experience with the Status 3 ANCs in bone. We actually got the bone color, and you saw the unboxing. And now, this is like 28 days later, we have returned those headphones. So I do not have them in front of me. I'll get to that in a second as to why I very hastily sent those away before I sit down to do this interview. So if we roll back, we talked a little bit about Status and their waterproof rating and their battery rating compared to the Apple AirPod Pros. Talked about how they claimed to be for the true audiophile and how the sound quality and the design, the number of microphones was supposed to be kind of the epitome of, the best all-around headphone. And so you saw the unboxing, and I talked to you about the different features, and immediately, started setting the headphone up the way that it instructed me to do. Downloaded their app, which allows you to customize your sound with them. Made sure to fit the earbud. So the fitting does something for those of you who have the AirPod Pros, very similar, where you put both of them in your ear. It will test left and right, tell you if it has created an effective seal, and then allow you to go through and customize. So it was interesting. The left ear was good. The right ear had to size to their smallest tip before it said it got an effective seal. So anyway, that took 10 or 12 minutes. It wasn't that big of a deal. Right out of the box, connecting was not as easy as the Apple AirPod Pros, which probably makes sense because it's a non-Apple product. However, it tells you straight out of the box, simply open the case and it will go to your Bluetooth and it will recognize it. That didn't actually happen. It didn't instruct you to push any button or to do anything special. It said as soon as you open the case, you should begin to, the headphone should begin to search. I actually had to turn Bluetooth off 3 or 4 times for it to pop up, but then connection was easy after that. There's a male voice on there that tells you when your sound is at max and at min. It will tell you also whether it is connected or disconnected. Sometimes. It was a little bit wonky when it came to things like that. So instead of you getting a ding for it to be connected or disconnected like you would with Apple product or some other earbuds, sometimes you would hear that it was connected, sometimes you would hear it was disconnected, sometimes you wouldn't hear any sound prompt at all. The disconnect was odd. It almost felt like sometimes first thing in the morning, right? I get up, I get ready to go to the gym or come in to take a call for work, and you open the case and there's a lag time and it won't actually connect to the phone immediately. Sometimes not at all. Sometimes you listen to it for an hour, up to 2 hours or more, and it will just randomly disconnect. And so you have to go back through the prompt, turn the Bluetooth back off, turn it back on, close the app out. Sometimes I had to do that on the podcast app and then reopen that app. Now, it'll pick up where it left off, but the random coming in and out of the Bluetooth was a little aggravating. The battery time was interesting. I felt like the battery time was a little less advanced than the Apple AirPod Pros, mainly in the case, not the actual bud itself. So I was having to charge that more than what I thought was necessary as far as what the advertised number of hours was. So that got a little bit wonky. The volume, the pause, skip through, answer, drop call. So your touch controls on both ears. I don't know. It was odd. It picked an ear for you to increase volume on, which just happened to be my left ear because that was the one that I touched the first time. So you touch and you hold, and the volume will rise. You touch and you hold the right ear for me, and it will drop the volume. If you hold it for too many seconds, and I mean too many seconds consecutively, like 3, it will drop it all the way to min volume, or it will take it all the way up to max volume. They were a little finicky in that sense. That was not, I thought it was better than the AirPod Pros, where you had to slide up and slide down. When it came to sweating, that got a little bit aggravating, sometimes didn't work at all. So this one was definitely better than the AirPod Pros, but again, for me, was not optimal. They felt a little weighty in the ears because the main design hung outside of the ear itself, especially the hardware components. So when it was vigorous working out, they fell out. And it really didn't matter how much sweat was there, they still fell out. That could be shaking your head, or that could be, running long distance. That could be bending over to the side to pick something up from the floor. There was random times that the weight due to gravity and the body in motion, they would just simply fall out. So again, that was a little aggravating. And let's see we didn't really talk about the rest of the controls. The skip, pause, and answering the phone, that wasn't a real big deal. That worked, quite well. That was okay. The sound quality was amazing. It probably was twice, maybe 3 times as good as the AirPod Pro, both with volume. The active noise canceling turned on, and when listening to music and taking calls. So again, for me, I think I told you, I was looking for functionality, sweat resistance first as far as exercising, and then what else comes along with that second. So the audio quality was quite astounding. Turning on the active, the ANC, the active noise canceling, created an absolute seal, quite like I've never felt or experienced before. So that was great if that's what you want. It was very effective at doing that. And as far as taking calls and having background noise, apparently, from what I was told, completely silent. There was not any interruption in that faction. Ultimately, the biggest, disappointment for me on the earbud was customer service. And I had read a few things, I had watched a few YouTube videos about this. I am assuming it's probably because they are a smaller independent company and they're just now trying to get traction and spend their money for marketing campaigns and the technology they're putting into the earbud, that the customer service experience was quite horrible, frankly. And so what they offer is a 30-day return, no questions asked, although we'll get to that in a second, and you can send the earbud back. So I purchased these on October the 6th. I asked to return these on the 18th and did not hear back from customer service for 2 weeks. So it was a very quick response. They claimed that they had sent me 2 emails, one to ask me if I could describe in detail why I was considering returning these, and 2 to confirm my address so that they could create the label to ship back. I got in touch with them finally. They sent me the label finally after that, when I explained to them, no, I didn't receive any message. There is a chat function during office, I would say Eastern U.S. office hours. So I chatted with them that way, because the only other thing to do is to fill out a form on their website, and that's where they were saying they were supposedly sending me these email responses. So anyway, I finally got them on chat, created the label. The label expired in 24 hours. So I had to get back on the phone, spend another afternoon, because it was several hours before I received another message from them with another label that was very finicky in that I could not print it immediately. It was showing a link. It was a Shopify link that was created, and looked like it was almost protected from being printed. And finally was able to download, after changing the format of it on my computer to a PDF, to be able to print this thing. And so that's why I was saying to you when we started the video, I don't have them in front of me, because as soon as I got the label, I rushed as quickly as I could, because the 6th of November was when the 30 days was up, and I wanted to get these out the door to get the refund. So it wasn't the best experience. Again, for the sound quality, if you're not moving in them, they are certainly, I understand how they advertise themselves of being, a champion of a true audiophile as far as creating the technology that's in this earbud. But for exercising outside of the sweat-proof, because I had no issues with that whatsoever, they just weren't for me. The other thing was, speaking of sweat, while they did not drown sound, they did get crackly in the right earbud on the tail end of a few workouts that were heavier sweating days. And the left one didn't seem to really want to connect back into the case after a workout if you did not wipe these off extremely well. The terminals were not connecting to the earbud, and they set flush straight down. That's where the terminals are to start charging again. So I woke up a few mornings and the left one just had not charged after sitting all day in the case. And that was because, unlike your Apple AirPods, my Beats Pros, I've had Jaybirds, I've had JLabs as well, I've had Shocks, all in the past with iPhones. You can see your batteries individually in each earbud as they're charging. You can see your case battery. These you couldn't. It was all one battery. And so I say that to tell you, I couldn't see that the left one was the one that wasn't independently charging. So again, overall, they weren't for me. The easeability was certainly not there. The sound definitely was there. Again, if you're going to use them to relax, they're a great earbud. You get on their website, they're going to give you $20 cash back, so that makes them a little bit cheaper than what they are on Amazon. But again, if you've got to go through their customer service, if you've had them before, maybe your experience was better. Mine was nothing short of terrible. So I think Status needs to work on a few aspects as a company before they become one of the big players in an earbud, or certainly a workout earbud. So we're on to the next pair, and the next pair will be the Power Beats Fit Pro, I think is what the newest version is called. And so we'll have an unboxing and a review as well. I saved these for last because these were a lot of 2023, a lot of companies' 2023's choice for the best earbud for exercising. And of course, I had the previous version, so we're going to see what the current version does. All right, please reach out. Let me know if you have any questions or need to commiserate on your experience with Status Audio. But yeah, that's the Between 3 ANC, I believe is what they were called, from Status. That's our review today. See you back soon with another one. Have a good day, guys.